Now, from across the tri-states, this is KHQA Sports.
Top of the evening, everybody, and welcome to the first Footballless Friday we've seen in 2.5 months now, which means, of course, winter is coming. We have 9 area football teams still alive, 5 in Western Illinois trying to stave off elimination and the change of sports seasons. We'll break that down in just a bit. But first, more news of a tri-state native making it big on the pro sports scene tonight. First, it was Luke Guthrie with golf, then Jack Cornell in the NFL. Now it's big news for former Van Far basketball star Mike Smith, who tonight took a big step forward in his quest to grow his professional basketball career. After playing pro ball in Germany last year, Mike signed with a new agent and a much more visible agency this summer. And tonight, those savvy moves have paid off as Smith was drafted in the 5th round of the NBA Developmental League draft, the D-League for most of you as you know it. Mike's rights are now owned by the Iowa Energy. He'll play in Des Moines, which is easy driving distance from the tri-states for those who may want to sneak north and watch him play. We're going to try to catch up with Mike in the next couple of days, get his reaction, but congratulations to Mike Smith doing the area proud, playing in the NBA D-League next season, provided everything goes well from here. Well, speaking of basketball, John Wood making its debut tonight at home for the new season against HLG's junior varsity team. That meant the start of Brad Hamilton's sophomore season, and he got off to a pretty good start, playing against Josh Pickett, the Hannibal native, coaching the HLG junior varsity tonight. Great steal right off the bat here by Michael Roy, who looked like vintage Brandon Roy at times, hooking up on the wing to Brad Hamilton and wing it up and ring it up for the 3 as well. More from Roy, who was a defensive demon tonight. Another steal for his quick hands right here. Going to find James Lane at the other end to finish things off. Lane with a team-high 12 points on the night. More stealage right here, this time from Tim Goodwin, and he is going to reward his point guard who had the earlier steals. That is Michael Roy with a finish, and it is a pretty one as John Wood jumps out by 6 at this point. At the other end, this would be HLG trying to strike back in this one. Stuart Cox out of Centralia. You might remember him from his Clarence Cannon Conference days. Nice steal, larceny, and layup at the other end. John Wood, though, just too much in this game. Darren Foster Jr. lighting up from 3 right there. And how about some pretty finishes? This will be Cortland Jackson with a kind of spinorama inside to get it done. And then Michael Roy with a thing of beauty as John Wood wins going away tonight. Final count in this one was 94-37. Kind of a glorified exhibition, if you will, for John Wood, except that it counts and they take care of business tonight big time as TJ Tisdale adds 11, so too Tim Goodwin. Couple of exhibition college scores to pass along tonight. Actually, one exhibition game. Western Illinois, the women open up their exhibition slate with a big win over Monmouth, 87-51. In regular season action, Jerry Jerome's Southeastern Community College crew takes care of business in the Fun City Classic in Burlington against Lewis and Clark. Kasina Sharon out of Russia with 33 points in her debut for Southeastern Community College. We've got soccer to talk about tonight. GLVC semifinals for Dave Musso's crew as Quincy University trying to avenge an earlier loss this season to Rockhurst. First half, this is the meaningful minute of the game. Off the corner restart right here by Jacqueline Mastriani. This ball is just going to stay in the box a little bit too long for Rockhurst's liking, and eventually it's going to end up on the foot of Kayla Nurnberger, who's going to come up with what turns out to be the golden goal and the only goal of the ball game. It is not only a beautiful cross right here, but it is a beautiful finish from Miss Nurnberger as Quincy University wins a 1-0 game to advance into the finals against William Jewell at home on Sunday. The news, not as good for the Quincy University men. They're still playoff bound, but they lose in the semifinals of the GLVC tournament 2-1 to UMSL on the night. Also, soccer score to pass along. On the women's side, HLGU moving on in the AMC tournament. They'll play at Columbia College after a 3-0 win over Mo Baptist. Also, we know who Canton's opponent will be in the sectional coming up on Tuesday. It will be Principia, who was a winner over Barat Academy tonight. Also want to pass along some football news because it is that time of year, and when it comes to IHSA Saturday afternoon atmosphere, few do it better than the good people at Illini West. After all, they've had more practice than anybody else. The Charger faithful are particularly good at decorating the town with road signs with meaningful slogans. None perhaps more meaningful this week than this one, Best Line Wins, as the Chargers tangle with a tremendously talented Clifton Central squad.
Defensively, they've been very good. They've only given up, I believe, 1 game where they've gave up more than 2 touchdowns, and so they've been really stout against the run and really good against the pass as well. So real predicament for us. We've got to find a way to move the ball.
A Clifton Central defense giving up less than 7 points per game is just the latest litmus test for an Illini West offensive line that has answered some ginormous challenges.
We just go out there, we play hard, we have fun time out there, and we just do our jobs and we get stuff done.
I feel like the key is going to be low pad level, be physical, and just dominate the guy across from you. I think that'll get the job done.
I think our offensive line has been one of the strengths of our team. They've been very physical, and that's one of the things that we preach. We talk a lot about doing the things fundamentally right. We also talk about just being real physical and knocking people off the ball, and I think they've been really good about that. They've improved throughout the year. They're much better now than they were at the start of the year, and I think that's a real hallmark of a good team.
We have a lot of quick backs, and that really makes it easier, especially having 4 threats back there in our wing T offense. That really helps get the face down, makes our job easier.
And if the offensive line takes care of its end of the bargain, the Chargers just happen to be playing their best defense of the season right now.
They are, a run-first team, but they also throw the ball fairly well. We're going to get a lot of different formations, look a lot like the old Alito teams or Orion, where they show you a lot of different sets and give you a lot of motion and different things like that. But it all comes down to stopping the run game, and that's what we've got to do.
Meanwhile, Central Southeastern fans don't need to be reminded Week 11 has been the bane of their existence 2 years running. They will try to make up for that tomorrow against Cerro Gordo.
Having that regret from last year, maybe not playing hard on every play, things like that, you just makes you want to go harder and let the other guys know that they need to go hard too.
Yeah, really, it's the last 2 years. We've lost 2 second-round games on this field in the last 2 years. Illini West 2 years ago and Williamsville this year. So, the script is, it couldn't be real any better because it's Williamsville. Last year at 10-0, this year at Cerro Gordo at 10-0. We're 10-0 again, and our kids want to get a little redemption from last year. So it's out there on the table for them, and hopefully we're going to take care of business.
The equation, at least in theory, has never been simpler for Central Southeastern. To beat Cerro Gordo on Saturday, Brad Dixon simply needs to pull a page from his own 2011 scout team defense. Because in a sense, the Panthers will be facing, in Broncos star Steve Isabel, a mirror image of their own graduated star tailback, Garrett Kessner.
They're not as balanced, I'd say, as Argenta was in their pass game and run game. They're more of a team that runs straight at you. They're going to let you know.
I mean, they have a great running game, and they have a running back that's tearing up his conference, and a fullback that's strong, and their play-action game's good. And we're just going to come out and play our assignments, flow to the ball well, and I think we'll be all right.
If there's an advantage to be had here for Central Southeastern, it's likely team speed on both sides of the football. What we've also seen from the Panthers, particularly in big games, is a willingness to pull out all the stops on offense. See also last week the reveal of an effective vertical game against Argenta that barely saw the light of day during the regular season.
We can throw the football when we need to. We work on it in practice every week, even though, you might not think we do as much as we run the football.
Oh yeah, our energy's great, and everyone's confident about this game coming into it, and everyone's fired up about it.
We're pretty excited. We can't wait. We just want to take it to the next level and go as far as we can.
So good luck tomorrow. Panthers and Chargers and Bombers and Crimsons and Trojans. We'll have highlights of all of those games, plus 2 Missouri previews for you and all other goodies on a loaded overtime coming up tomorrow at 10:30, one of my favorite overtimes of the year. We're all out of time, everybody. Hope you'll join us tomorrow. The football playoff action continues. It will be at the height of the fun. We'll see you then, 10:30 tomorrow night with a complete wrap-up of everything. Have a great weekend otherwise, everybody. We'll see you then.